So how do you increase your overall flexibility? This is a question that I get asked a lot, and it's a huge topic. And it's not necessarily as simple as, well, you need to stretch every day. Because then people say, well, for how long and what type of stretching and how do I do it? And I'm just really tight, I can't even touch my toes, I'm hopeless. But stretching and increasing your flexibility is really important. It's important to avoid injury. It's important to improve your posture, to stop those aches and niggles and pains in the body, to get the blood flow through to the muscles, and to just increase your range of movement so your everyday life is just a little bit more comfortable. So I can't cover everything in one video, but I'm going to talk to you about the three main concepts in flexibility training. The first one is mind over body, the second one is fascial tension, and the third one is neural mobility. So back to the first one, mind over body. If you're stretching, you've got to get your mind involved. There's no point taking a stretch to a point of tension and holding it there and never going beyond that. You're never going to increase your range of movement by doing that. And some people are quite fearful of taking it that next step. So you've got to get your mind involved and believe that you can do this. So any story that you're telling yourself now about, I've always been inflexible, I was never someone that could touch my toes, I'm just not bendy at all, you need to park that and stop telling yourself that, because you can do it. Lack of flexibility is not necessarily anything to do with the length of your muscles. So you do need to engage the mind to help you with that stretching. The second concept, fascial tension. All our muscles in our body are connected. There's a connective tissue that runs over all the muscles in the body. So if you've ever prepared raw meat, like raw chicken or something, and you can see that kind of clear film that it covers the chicken, it's like that, it runs through the body. So if we hold tension in one part of the body, say the neck and shoulders, that can have a direct impact on the range of movement that we have in our hamstrings, the muscles at the back of our legs, which are involved when you try and touch your toes. So in order to gain more flexibility in one area, you have to release tension off other areas of the body. And I'm going to come on and just show you what I mean by that in a moment. The third concept is neural mobility. So we've got nerves that run throughout our body. And if you imagine you have a nerve that runs from the top of your head all the way through down to your toes. So imagine that as a long piece of string, if you like. If you lie down, that string's nice and straight. If you then raise your leg to bring it towards your head, that string has got to lengthen to allow the leg to come into that position. If you've got tension in any muscles anywhere in the body, that is going to restrict the movement of that piece of string, of that nerve, and therefore restrict your movement. The nerve needs to be able to slide very easily through the muscles. So the sciatic nerve, for example, which is as thick as your thumb, that runs down through your bottom, that can sometimes get quite painful, and people suffer with sciatica because of tension through the glutes, the muscles in the bottom. So that's another thing another reason why we have to release tension out of the body so that those nerves can slide easily through the body. So with that in mind, and there are lots of different exercises that you can do to release tension through the body. There's lots of different types of stretches you can do. You can do static stretches, dynamic stretches, PNF stretches, all different types. It's a huge topic. But let me just show you this one tension release exercise that I think actually busy women really suffer with tension in the neck and shoulders. I certainly do, and it does, cause me some tightness in the hamstrings. So if you have a tennis ball And I would use a tennis ball because they've got a little bit of give in them. Don't use anything harder like a lacrosse ball or anything. It does need to be a tennis ball. And we're going to lie down in a minute and just place that ball underneath the head to give us a bit of a massage. But to begin with, if you just take your hands over your head and you place your thumbs under your skull at the back and have a little press around there, you will feel, no doubt, some tension and discomfort under there. So it's this place underneath here. So if you come to the bottom of the skull and press in there, they're the suboccipital muscles at the back of the head, at the top of the neck, and they can have, if they're tense, they can have a direct impact on the flexibility of your hamstrings. But rather than sit like this, trying to massage them with your shoulders in the air, and it's not particularly relaxing trying to do that yourself, we're going to self-massage with a tennis ball. So if you lie down, and you place the tennis ball in the palm of your hand and you place it underneath the neck. So there's sort of two hollows at the back of the neck. So you've got your spine coming up here, through the neck here. Either side of that, you've got these two hollow places. An ideal spot for a tennis ball. So lie down, place the tennis ball in the palm of your hand, and then you put the head down and place the tennis ball in that little hollow at the side. If you want to, you can place a pillow or something underneath this elbow so you're completely relaxed. And in that position, you can just turn the head towards the elbow and away. Just very small movements towards and away. And you can give these muscles a really nice massage doing that. But I wouldn't recommend longer than, say, 2 minutes on each side. It's a very tender area, so I wouldn't overdo it. If you suffer with tension headaches, that's often because these muscles are very tight. So by massaging them, it could bring on a bit of a headache, but I'd encourage you to persist with it and just get those eased off a little bit. So once you've done that, there are lots of other exercises that you can do for your neck, but do that and then come and try a hamstring stretch and see if you can see any difference in the range of movement in the leg. So you're going to lie down. I've got a resistance band here. You may or may not need one. It depends how flexible the leg is. So I'll put that to one side for the moment. But if you take both the legs straight and you're going to bend one leg into the chest, flex the foot, and then take the heel up towards the ceiling. Now, I can reach my leg, I can hold the thigh or the calf here, but if your leg is out here somewhere and you can't reach it, you don't want to be pulling up here because that's going to cause tension in the neck and shoulders. So what you can do, and you don't have to use a resistance band, you can use a scarf or your husband's tie or a long sock, anything that means that you can wrap it around your foot and reach. So you're going to place it around the ball of the foot, and then you can lie down and you can use to pull. So you can pull the leg and keep the shoulders, neck and shoulders relaxed. So you can keep pulling and pulling and pulling, but keeping it down. If that you will, with this leg straight, you're going to feel a stretch through the front of the hip as well. If that's too much, you can keep this leg bent, but keep the bottom down and the back nice and long. And then you can just gently pull the leg towards you and hold it. You can point the foot and then press through the heel to flex the foot. And then you're going to feel more of a stretch up the back of the leg. So that's a really nice stretch to do for the hamstrings. I'd recommend that one. But if you suffer with tension in the neck and shoulders, grab the tennis ball, or if you can, go for a nice massage and get that released off, and then practice those hamstring exercises as well. If you've enjoyed this video, let me know how you've got on below, and if you know anyone else who would really love to watch this and learn a little bit more about flexibility and use those exercises, then please forward it on to them.